right. This is Harriet. Harriet is one of our bald eagles. She is our oldest bald eagle. Harriet is 28 years of age. And we know that she's exactly 28 years of age because in 1981, a researcher climbed up into her nest and attached a little aluminum band to her leg. That aluminum band was on her leg then for 17 years until 1998 when she was unfortunately hit by a car. Suffered a severe wing dislocation. You can see how that left wing here sits up funny compared to the other side, along with a very severe head trauma as well. See the little feathers that are sticking up there on the top there? Kind of looks like she's having a bad feather day today. She has a bad feather day every day since 1998 when she was hit by that car. That may also be why she has those dark feathers in the back of her head. She should normally attain that complete white head and tail at how many years of age? 5 to 6 years of age, very good. But because of that feather follicle damage, that may prevent those feathers from growing in the way that they should. Then a couple of years ago, in fact in 2005, she had some reoccurring pain in the left part of her wing. So part of her left wing, as you'll see here, was amputated to alleviate some of the discomfort that she was having on the left side of the body. But she's still one of our most well-traveled birds, and she's the bird that we talked about that's on the Minnesota license plate. Oh, did you guys look at that license plate really closely?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like most modern models nowadays. Had to airbrush that up a little bit on the top. Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to back Harriet up over to the perch here. And we're going to get her weight. And, oh, I had too many names today. What's your name again? Jaden, there we go. He's going to help me write that down. All right. Wait for the scale to even out. All right, 4-1. Okay, 7-5. Okay, 4-1-7-5. Good job. 4,175 grams, 454 grams in a pound. Puts her under 10 pounds. That puts her at 9 pounds, 2 ounces. What's that? Do you think I should reweigh her now because of that? Oh, the kids just saw her do a little number on the table up here. They're figuring that I should probably reweigh again now. But we won't. That's okay. We'll leave it at that. That puts her about 9 pounds, 11 ounces is where she's at there for today. All right, so we're going to do it. We're going to back her up to the perch. Hold on, Harriet. There you go. Harriet had a little bit more problem with her balance because of the damage to the head. We'll see if she's hungry. What do you think she's going to go for? Looks like she's hungry. What do you think she's going to go for? The mice, the rabbit, or the fish? Rabbit, because it's the top one. Let's put you back down here. Can you get all the way up? There you go. Good job. That's a little piece there. So now what she's going to do is she's going to hold it down with her beak, or hold it down with her talons, and then use her beak, kind of like we would use a can opener or a knife and a fork to rip and tear the prey into smaller pieces so that she can swallow it, so that she can digest it. But everything that you see in this rabbit piece is going to go down and will be digested by that very strong gastric juices.
How many times a day do they feed?
We offer them about a half a pound to 3/4 pound of food on a daily basis. Okay? If she eats all of this, great. She may not eat all of this today. And sometimes, for example, Columbia, I brought in 2 different times today before she ate a little piece and then she was done. But believe it or not,
Where is it?
everybody has to eat something.
She dropped it.
Dropped it? Wasn't as good as it first looked, apparently. So I'd rather have the fish. You don't like these mice? You need to eat mice, though. They're good. Okay, we'll play catch then. One more time. Come on. How about the fish? You want that thing? Yep. That's what you want. All right. So, I forget what we were even talking about here. Anybody remember? I've been down so many paths. What's that?
You were describing how she eats.
Yeah, using that beak kind of like a knife and a fork. First she's trying to hold that slippery fish down. She's trying to stab it. like looking at my glove, like, where can I put this thing? Reaching down with the talons, holding it down, but using the beak like a knife and a fork. I oftentimes get asked, as I have the eagle right here, aren't you worried about being bit by the eagle? Taking a chunk out of your cheek or something like that. But you know what? I've been here a couple of years, been bit a couple of dozen times, but I don't have any marks or scars to show you from being bit by the eagle. I do, we're running out of time, I don't have time to pass my finger around, but I've got a scar on my finger that I received over 7 years ago while we were banding birds. Now Harriet, as I mentioned, was banded in 1981. I was banding another kind of a bird at the time, 7 years ago, and I was bit by it. I was bit by a cardinal. Yeah, go ahead and laugh. I got a scar 7 years later, and I cried when it happened. Right. But you know what? A cardinal is kind of like a parrot or a macaw. It has the crushing power to break open the seeds, so it has the crushing power. The eagle has all those crushing power in the talons. That's why I'm wearing a glove here of 3 thick layers of leather to protect myself from those sharp talons. Anybody else have questions while we're watching her here? Finish up this lunch. No questions? We're ready for the quiz?
Okay, what's the eagle's name that you said is up in northern Ontario?
Whitey, the
You
golden
track
eagle.
him on the internet?
Yeah, go to our website, nationaleaglecenter.org, and you'll get we have weekly updates of where he's at. Yep. If you go up to our second floor classroom, you'll see an exhibit that talks a little bit about his release and care and stuff like that. There isn't the latest map up there yet, but there's a most recent one is there.
She's still hungry.
Thank you.
Still hungry? Yep.
How many eggs do they normally lay?
On average, they lay 2 to 3 eggs per year. Yep.
It's fish.
It is fish, but she wants this big piece instead. She'll save that for the end if she's still got room. Yep. Other questions?
How do they feed their young, or do they just teach them to hunt, or?
No, they feed them at the nest at first, for the first 12 weeks or so after they hatch, by bringing back pieces like this, watching her do exactly what she's doing, but then offering it to the young. Yep. So they don't regurgitate the food like some creatures do. Yep. They bring it back whole and tear it up at the nest site. Yep.
How much do their nests weigh?
Yeah, pretty good question. We know that on average an eagle's nest, the first year they build it, is 4 to 5 to 6 feet wide in diameter. For example, behind on the door back there, there's a circle outlined. That is the average diameter of a nest the first year they make it. On average, 1 to 2 feet high. Every year they come back to that nest, they add another 1 to 2 feet of new material every single year. So it's not uncommon for most of the nests in the river valley here to be in the 300 to 400 pound range. Seriously. The largest nest ever down in Florida was over 3 tons before the tree broke underneath it. The tree finally said, I can't support you anymore, and it fell down. But if they only are laying, how many eggs per year? 2 to 3 eggs per year. Why do you think that they keep adding another 1 to 2 feet of new material every single year?
She's dropping
The kids
the
once,
pieces.
yeah, I see that. I'll get them in a minute. Once the youngsters leave in the fall, or you can help me clean up afterwards. All right. So the question is why do they keep adding more and more material every single year then? It does decompose a little bit. Yeah, there's a little decomposition going on, and so they need to restructure that a little bit. Something else going on though.
Insulation.
Insulation? Not so much. Well,
They use mud to keep it like held together.
mud? No,
Yeah, no.
pretty much just sticks.
Some birds don't.
Yeah,
use
like
mud.
robins and stuff will use
Yeah.
mud and saliva. Swallows, for example, use saliva. The nests that you see underneath the bridge, for example, those cliff swallow nests, round gourd-like shaped things, they take mud and spit and gobs of it, and they make a gourd-shaped nest. And it hangs there like perfect. So yes, they do that, but the eagles don't do that. I'm relying on you in the front row here to tell everybody why they add another 1 to 2 feet of new material. Look at that. Pretty messy eaters, aren't they? Okay? And so you can imagine a young eagle learning how to eat probably makes an even bigger mess than an adult eagle that's 28 years of age. And so all that food ends up on the bottom of that nest. And what the parents should do is they should clean that up. But they don't. What they do is they cover it up with more and more nesting material. Seriously, you keep adding more and more material. When you come back in the spring, you've got a new little mound of new material in your nest.